Hey guys, hope it's going all right today. First, let me take off these headset. I don't want to mess with the audio. I'll do a quick sound check. Sorry, I was not prepared. I was a bit too eager to start, and so I did not do the sound checks and everything. But we're gonna fix that now. Um, Also want to throw some of that on there, and then let's do the sound check. Today we're going to be looking at the Inner Living Parent Guidebook. Now we're still on chapter 6. And this is some common inner teenager triggers and reactions. This is on page 69. Let me just do the sound check before we start. Make sure everything is okay. Right here. Yep, perfect. Seems like you guys can hear me fine. Close that a little bit. Okay, so here you go. I'm starting again from the end of page 69. Some common inner teenager triggers and reactions. My inner child needs comforting. My inner teen needs to be noticed in her anger. The inner teen can be triggered by unmet needs, theirs or those of their inner child. Some important inner teens need fairness. Some important inner teen needs are fairness, respect, autonomy, authenticity, integrity, to matter, to be seen, and to be heard. When these needs are met, the inner teen can act out in rage, frustration, resentment, contempt, distraction, and/or impatience. Inner teenagers can also feel deep loss by the lack of support and guidance they received during adolescence. Close the window so the noise is not so. I was eating some chips and it's a little bit stuck in my mouth. So, the inner teen's reactions are designed to help provide a sense of power, but it's false power. The inner teen tries to control rather than feel out of control. Angry or resentful positions like I'm right, you're wrong, or you hurt me, now I'll hurt you, usually come from this acting out place. There's a small message box here. Some ways the inner teen distracts, numbs out, are compulsive shopping, sleeping, work, sex, food, exercise, video games, reading, addiction, self-harm, violence, arguments, dissociation, avoidance, obsession, compulsion, fantasy, and more. Many different things that the inner teenager can use. If reacting in anger doesn't quiet the unpleasant feelings, the inner teenager might try to distract from the suffering of the inner child's painful feelings and pretend they simply don't exist. They might also suppress the feelings with substances or compulsive behaviors. Sometimes the inner teen may try to control out of control situations by resentfully compensating for absent or unhealthy adults. They take over situations and attempt to control others instead. New projects, opportunities, or relationships might trigger the inner child's abandonment fears. The inner teen springs into action to reduce those uncomfortable feelings. They can become uncooperative and temperamental on teams. They might panic and assume responsibility for more than their share. They might procrastinate, avoid situations and people, and fall short of commitment. And here's a quote. I thought it was time to meet my inner teenager after finding an old photo of my actual teenage self. I looked angry and depressed, with black eyeliner and a dyed black mohawk. When my inner teenager is activated, I am right back to the 80s. With two middle fingers raised to any and all authority, my inner mohawk grows. Leather spiked armor appears around me, saying, keep a safe distance or look at me. I'm special, I matter. I respond to situations the way I did when I was in my family. The solution to just about everything is to burn it down to the ground. I want to engage in self-harm and lash out at myself instead of directing healthy anger at injustice, expressing my pain, or asking for help. This is a quote from the from a fellow traveler. The next section, inner teen trigger: criticism, real or perceived. Criticism, real or perceived. When someone judges or criticizes us today, the inner child might take it to heart and feel hurt. The inner teenager might argue and try to prove the other person wrong. to distract from those painful feelings and to validate the inner child. This might occur only in our head, but build resentment, or we might get directly into a heated conversation or arguments. This mental replaying of the situation over and over, which is rumination, shifts the focus away from the inner child's more vulnerable feelings. Unfortunately, rumination creates anxiety, dread, or being overwhelmed, which eventually causes the inner teen to lash out, withdraw, or withhold. The next section, inner teen trigger, not honoring our own boundaries and inner knowing. At times, you might engage in codependent behaviors, not set or maintain your own safe boundaries, or not honor your own needs or inner knowing. This can happen without being aware that you, the adult, are acting out of reactions of your inner child or critical parent. These reactions, driven by the inner child or critical parent, compromise your sense of safety and integrity. The inner teen can be angered and can spring into action. The ways that other inner family members respond when they are triggered can thus end up triggering the teenager in return. Observe when the inner teenager gets triggered, using the information in the following chart as cues. Further discussion and examples of boundary issues can be found in Chapter 13. We'll explore these inner teen triggers more deeply in Chapter 18. A note, the inner teenager can also act out our behaviors in ways that cause us to violate our own boundaries. However, the focus on this section is on boundary violations that trigger the inner teenager and not the boundary violations caused by the inner teen's reactions. So I'll just show you this chart in case, I don't know if you can like do a screenshot or something. I don't know if you can even read that. Maybe it's too, yeah. So I think you should be able to get a screenshot of that just so you can see how this chart is organized. Okay, so when as an adult is on one side and your inner teen may. When you as an adult don't end a conversation when you want, encounter a situation that the inner child finds scary or overwhelming, say yes when you want to say no, people please, don't set or maintain boundaries, don't speak up for the inner child or inner teen's needs, don't address or resolve conflict and issues. And then the other side is your inner teen may isolate, avoid, self-medicate compulsively, confuse self-indulgence with self-nurturance. Try to frantically plan, manage, control situations to reduce and suppress challenging emotions. Rebel passively or actively through procrastination, perfectionism, analysis paralysis, sabotage, argumentativeness, or conflict. Get defensive, passive aggressive, argue, prove others wrong, insist on being right. Try to become perfect to avoid or deter criticism. Be judgmental and controlling, victimize others. Dissociate, distract, ruminate, obsess, get lost in fantasy. Take another person's behavior personally. They are out to get me. They are disrespecting me. Here are some reflections for identifying your inner teenager. Number 1, what does your inner teenager look or feel like? You might wish to draw your inner teenager. List some characteristics to describe your inner teenager. Assertive, resourceful, tough, defensive, shut down. Number 3, ask your inner teenager what they'd like you to call them. They might give you a name or a title like the defender, the rebel, or champion. Number 4, what reactive thoughts or phrases occur when your inner teen is activated? What do they want from me? Why can't they leave me alone? No one knows what they're doing. Stop trying to control me. That's really interesting. Number 4, what reactive thoughts, I'll just read it again. What reactive thoughts or phrases occur when your inner teen is activated? This is a really good point here. What do you want from me? What do they want from me? Why can't they leave me alone? No one knows what they're doing. Stop trying to control me. Number 5, how do you behave when your wounded inner teen takes over, distracts me with certain activities, lashes out or blames others, or wants to numb? Number 6, what physical sensations in your body tell you that your inner teenager is activated? Number 7, what is your inner teenager's role in your inner family? You might ask your inner teenager this question. How are they trying to help you in their own way. And number 8, what does your inner teenager want you to know? Feel free to ask them. I can feel the rage bubbling up when I'm cut off, ignored, or not validated, just like in my family of origin. A quote from a fellow traveler. Ooh, sorry. Let's see. Should we continue or cut this here? I think we'll continue. Oh, so the next section is on page 72, and the inner teenager's positive intention. Like the inner child, the inner teenager has been alone and without support for years, but with the added burden of protecting the inner child. The inner teenager has done the best they could to figure out how to cope and survive with limited resources, skills, and guidance. It was never our inner teen's jobs to figure out how to care for themselves and the inner child. It's not their job now. They likely felt compelled to take on that role because no one else did so. By understanding their positive intention as a loving parent, we can relieve them of their burdens and unfair responsibilities. They will begin to feel the healthy freedom and vitality that they missed out on in their younger years. Understanding what your inner teen is trying to achieve can help you step in as their loving parent to offer healthier strategies instead. Instead of numbing to try to avoid the pain or lashing out, your loving parent can help your inner teen lower the intensity by taking deep breaths, grounding their awareness in the present moment. Try to see their positive intentions and have compassion for how they have had to fend for themselves. Tune into how they feel and imagine what they need. Alternatively, you can ask them and make space for their answer. Nurture them. Your loving parent can help the inner teenager trust that the strategies they learned make sense at the time, but are unlikely to meet long-term needs today. The adult you can follow up by addressing the issue that concerns them from a place of clarity. This next section is some more reflection questions. Inner teen survival mechanisms. What activities has your inner teenager historically engaged in to distract from or numb unpleasant feelings? Alcohol, drugs, food, sex, relationships, porn, gambling, internet, television, work, exercise, shopping, etc. Number 2, what numbing or distraction activities does your inner teenager engage in today? Number 3, what feelings do your inner teenagers try to avoid, eliminate, numb, or distract from by engaging in these activities? Example, sadness, fear, guilt, shame, etc. Number 4, what are the short-term benefits of avoiding these uncomfortable feelings? And what are the long-term costs? And number 5, what actions can you take if you recognize your inner teenager is a reactive state and wants to lash out, procrastinate, control, avoid, panic, distract, manage, numb, or indulge? The more your loving parent steps in to tend to the inner child's pain, the less your inner teenager needs to engage in these behaviors. Your loving parent can keep showing up for both the inner child and the inner teenager to help them feel safe. You'll learn more about the inner child in the next chapter. And here's a quote for the ending of this section. Though my inner teenager gets great satisfaction in the physical or emotional slamming of the bedroom door when frustrated, I have better tools now. I can identify when my inner teenager is being asked to be heard and lovingly reparent myself by acknowledging my inner teen's feelings and needs without letting those feelings lead to behaviors that sabotage my adult life. I have learned to integrate, not ignore, my inner teenager as a part of my inner family. And together, we stay in emotional sobriety. Let's see. Should we continue? I think we'll close up on this section here because this is almost the end of this chapter. So this is the last section, and then the last is this exercise. So the last section on page 73. The last area, developing a cooperative relationship with your inner teenager. You can develop a cooperative relationship with your inner teen by listening to them and making healthy changes, such as honoring your need to say no and speaking your truth. The more you walk the talk and make an effort to connect with them, the more they will trust you. Until then, they might try to keep the inner child safe and hidden away by relying on survival mechanisms. To nurture a healthy relationship with the inner teen. 1. Give your inner teenager time and attention and try to be gentle. They can be quite tender behind their armor. Number 2, protect and honor your inner child and upholding healthy boundaries with other people by addressing boundary violations with others in healthy ways. Jot down when and where your inner teenager gets activated. Number 3, help help the excuse me, help the inner teenager pause when strong emotions arise. Then choose a course of action as a loving parent rather than reacting as the inner teenager. Number 4, allow your inner teenager to express themselves to you and try not to take any reaction personally, even if they're angry or yelling at you. They've had nowhere safe to share their pain, and being with them without needing to fix their feelings can go a long way towards building trust. Number 5, set healthy internal boundaries with your inner teen, even if they seem to balk at them. And number 6, give them hope. Help them trust you'll care for the inner child so that they feel no longer compelled to do so. This is really good. Really good. Give them hope. Help them trust you'll care for the inner child so that they no longer feel compelled to do so. It's really good. I love that. The inner child's feelings of helplessness propel the inner teenager to control. You can help the inner teenager trust in a power greater than ourselves and our loving parent. I see how mad you are and how that person's behavior doesn't meet your needs. We're so powerless over other people. I see how much it hurts. I've got your back, and so does a power greater than ourselves. You might then be able to help your inner teen let it go, or you might need to address the issue with the other person. And the closing quote, when I ask my inner teenager questions, she often yells or swears at me and calls me names. At first, I was so hurt that I took long breaks between communication attempts. Eventually, I developed the ability to hold space for her anger. Thank you. That's the reading for today.